Welcome to Insider Info. Today, we're diving into the slopes with a Wallace local and longtime ski instructor at Lookout Pass. With years of experience coaching everyone from budding racers to seasoned pros and a reputation for his friendly, approachable nature, Charlie Roberts has stories, tips, and insider secrets you won't want to miss. Let's get started. Can you share your journey as a ski instructor at Lookout Pass? How did you get started, and what has kept you teaching for all these years?
I volunteered as an instructor for a season, and I had another friend who was working with the resorts ski school, and he kind of recruited me, and I've been doing it ever since.
You spent a little time ski instructing at Schweitzer too, didn't you?
I did. I was there for 10 winters.
What certifications or specialized trainings have you pursued as a ski instructor, and how do those shape the way you teach different types of skiers?
I guess general certifications, I've got an Alpine level 2. I've got a children's specialist 1. The racing side of things, I've got an entry level 100.
Can you kind of explain what that is in more detail?
There's definitely a fair amount of homework that goes into it. You know, you've got to study up quite a bit on the Alpine technical manual, and that goes into different techniques, how to be a little more efficient, let the ski do its job, basically. And there's a skiing and a teaching portion as well. So you're on snow for a couple of days and then a written exam.
I'm also curious more about the kids training. I've heard about that. Does that just teach you does it give you the nuances of working with kids, or what is the goal of that certification?
It's a little bit of nuances of, kind of how to make things fun, right? And it breaks down how we learn within different age ranges, how we develop physically as we grow. So there were some good insights there. I've worked with kids for a long time, but it was fun to go a little more in depth into that.
Finally, the racing. I don't know very much about that, but that certification is interesting. There's so much to know with that. I mean, can you just briefly explain what that teaches you to become certified as a race instructor?
It did take some time. They've got a whole nother, they've got their version of the technical manual, and that entry level 100, at least, in my opinion, it felt like they were fundamentally pretty similar. But that level 100, homework wise, was probably comparable to the level 2 Alpine cert from PSIA. The main difference is how can we ski and go as fast as possible.
When I hear all that, you can't do much better than Charlie for instructing your kids and also learning to ski fast. Can you walk us through the layout of the resort and share some of your favorite runs?
Okay, so yeah, we've got what looks like chair 1 there. But as soon as you get off of the interstate, I mean, the resort's right there. And with parking in mind, it can get a little busy, but I feel like as long as you're there by 8 o'clock or so, you can usually get a decent spot. We've got the little beginner area, I guess, just left of the lodge on the map. We spend quite a bit of time there as instructors. There's a decent little run there. You can definitely, you can practice anything on it if you really want to. From there, up chair 1, and the easiest route back to the lodge would be Huckleberry Ridge. But there's plenty of great runs off of it as well. If you know how to make some turns already, gold is the nice wide groomer. Silver's a great one there as well, and copper. I definitely enjoy all 3 of those runs. On the other portion of the front side of chair 1 there, Bonanza and Golden Eagle are great. I really, really like Hoot Owl. I wish it was maybe 6 times longer than it actually is before you get to that cat track.
Isn't this also where they're calling some of this double black diamond over here too, right? And some of these tree routes?
Yeah, and those, they aren't extremely steep, as far as like some double black diamonds are concerned, but the trees make it a little more difficult.
There's another interesting thing about this mountain. They have kind of like a half pipe they've carved out of everything. And I don't think you're really a terrain park guy, but it's pretty interesting what they've done with that kind of natural half pipe or dugout half pipe over here.
Yeah, I've always just thought of it as like a little natural trick ditch kind of a thing. But yeah, you can have a lot of fun on that.
And that's Rolling Thunder, right? Where all that is?
Yeah, correct. Yep.
What about it seems like Lookout's very proud of Eagle Peak, as they should be, because it has terrific long intermediate runs and some pretty good steeps. I really like some of the tree runs there. Do you have any favorite runs back here?
I really like Rubicon over there. Olympia's got a good consistent, slightly steeper pitch to it. The Paradise Glades are pretty fun as well.
It's also interesting is some of the good steep runs are off this chair over here. What is this chair over here that kind of gets forgotten sometimes?
Chair 3. We did almost forget Chair 3. All 5 of those runs are a lot of fun. Probably the steepest terrain on the mountain. You've got Big Dipper and Hercules that you come to first, and those never get groomed, so they can get a little moguled out and kind of bumpy, but definitely a lot of fun on a good powder day. And that chair line Purgatory, it's the same. And then Red Dog and Marmot are groomed pretty regularly, and they're just pretty good, slightly steeper pitch, consistently all the way down.
I think the mountain's a lot of fun. I think the only thing maybe it could use is some more double black diamond, but I think all the runs are longer than you'd imagine for a resort that's just over 1,000 acres skiable, right? There's a lot of skiing to be had, and even an advanced skier is going to have some fun if they jump in those trees. Wallace is such a unique town. What's your favorite après ski spot there, and why do you think it adds to the charm of skiing at Lookout Pass?
It's hard to pick a favorite après spot, Cody, which I think is what adds to the charm. I mean, there's several options to go out and get food and or drinks for a fairly small town.
Let's say I decided to come out to Wallace and I rented a room at the Stardust and I had a long day of skiing and I wanted to go on a date night at a nice restaurant. Where would I go in Wallace?
I would recommend either the Fainting Goat or the Blackboard Cafe. Both great little sit-down restaurants. Got a nice kind of intimate feel, delicious food. If you're looking just for like a burger and fries, I'm going to say probably the Outlaw, which is in Mullen. So even just a little closer to the ski hill. And then, if you're looking for just cocktails or drinks, I'd recommend the Silver Corner. You've got the Sixth and Cedar. It's an espresso bar, kind of up front, but then they've got a full bar in the back as well. Oh, Muchachos Tacos in Wallace. I love their Crunchwrap Supreme.
What would you say is your personal, if you had to choose one place, it's your favorite place to go out to in Wallace, where would it be?
If I had to pick one, I'd go with the Silver Corner.
The Silver Corner. All right, now we know. We know where to find Charlie.
Yeah.
Have you been to Quinn's Hot Springs, and what's your take on it as a post-skiing destination for relaxation?
I think it's a great spot. I mean, the pools are right there. They've got the restaurant and the bar, the different rooms in the cabins, and it's fairly close to Lookout.
Here's Wallace right there, right? And
Okay,
then
yeah.
Lookout Pass is 20 minutes from Wallace, if that, 15 minutes.
Yeah, 15, 20 minutes tops.
And then it's just a
miles.
really, really pretty drive over to Quinn's. It ends up being about 45 minutes, really. Here's a look at the new pools there, too, that you mentioned. And I've been there since the new pools, and it's pretty amazing. The one thing I'd say is you need to get a reservation. How can people contact you for lessons at Lookout Pass?
208-744-1301, extension 245.
Charlie's one of the best instructors up there, and hope somebody contacts Lookout and gets a lesson from Charlie. So thanks a lot, Charlie.
Hey, thank you, Cody. I appreciate the praise, and thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Have a good night.